Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Matt.
I'm Aunt Becky.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Grammy.
I'm Kim.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And Cal.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help. Woohoo! 2.5 inches of rain. Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Right now we're just checking on the germination greenhouse. Everything looks good and it's way too hot in here to be wearing a sweatshirt, so I'm getting out of here. The Northeast just got finished dealing with a crazy storm that rolled through, and let me just say we got hit hard by it. As you saw in the beginning part of the video, we got over 2.5 inches of rain. That's a lot of water. And 2.5 inches of rain coming straight down is one thing, but when it's raining sideways, that's a whole nother thing. There was so much wind along with all this rain, it made for kind of a hectic place around here. It was a little wild. Wind gusts are one thing. We always get wind gusts around here, but the sustained winds, they were so high, it actually caused a lot of problems, which we'll get to later on. But for now, we've got to head down around back and help with animals. Good morning, ladies. Oh, what do you got there?
First egg out of the new chickens.
Ooh, we've been looking for quite some time now. We thought we were going to be getting them sooner, but look at that. That's a tiny egg.
They always start out small and then they get bigger as they start laying. So it takes about 2-3 weeks and they'll start laying large and extra large eggs.
The new chickens are doing really well. We are still dealing with a few escapees, but that's nothing we can't take care of. Back up, ladies. What is all these chickens doing here? Chickens, please, you are making this way more difficult with everybody just standing here. Don't climb on the basket. Oh, so scary. We just got the calves all taken care of. We got their grain dumped in, they got their milk. So now we've got our calves, our chickens, and our cattle all taken care of for the morning. Now, as you can imagine, with 2.5 inches of rain and it raining sideways, things have been pretty sloppy around here. Some of you may have been concerned about the animals. Thankfully, this storm came out of the west. It was a very bad storm. We were worried about our animals and our pens, but since it came out of the west, we're kind of protected from that. On this side of the barn, at least. I don't know how things are over at the stable, but it could have been much worse. If it was coming out of the east, our pens would have been flooded. For the new chickens, we had a little bit of concern, but I think the way we have our building set up around here, the wind wasn't able to bother them near as much as it could have. And all things considered, when it comes to the animals, everything's like normal. We didn't have any problems. We did have some pretty major problems with other things, which we'll get to that later on. I'm just happy that the animals are all good and that everybody is enjoying their breakfast. All right, look at these, so beautiful. At this moment, Daniel is down around back. He's working on pumping up a tire to one of the wagons. We do need to move some plants around. And while I'm waiting, this is a perfect time to talk about the big problem that we had. And let me just say, it was scary around here. Yesterday afternoon, as we were getting later into the afternoon, that storm was really starting to pick up. I had gone home helping feed the babies. I was changing diapers, you know, just doing my thing. And then I got a call from my mom and she sounded pretty panicked. She said, hey, can you come up here right now? We need your help. And I was like, oh no, what happened? I started going through all my head with the nasty weather that we've been having, the high gusts, the sustained winds, as to what was going on. And when I got here, it was much worse than I had thought. When I pulled into the driveway, my cousin Tyler and the neighbor farmer Raleigh, he pulled in as well. Joel and Gavin showed up. Matthew, Daniel, and my dad were on top of the greenhouse. This piece of plastic for this corner was straight up in the air. So the plastic had ripped off the greenhouse the entire length of the greenhouse. Now it was cold, it was windy, it was raining. It was just nasty out. And let me just say it was kind of alarming because you guys know these greenhouses are a big deal for us. With the plastic getting ripped off, a few of these plants were beat up pretty bad because of the wind. We had to go the entire length of the greenhouse and reattach the plastic. Not only did we have to reattach it, but there were many places where it was just tore. And I'm not saying, you know, 6-inch tear, 8-inch tear. There was like a foot worth of tear, 2 feet of tear. So we had to go through with some greenhouse tape and repair that. It was not a fun situation to be a part of. So what we had to do with both sheets of plastic, because you remember there's 2 sheets where we pumped that little pocket of air between them, we had to pull the plastic back down and use this wire along a little metal guard up there, and we had to put the wire in while the plastic was blowing all over the place. That's why we needed the help. So we had so many people pulling onto the plastic, holding it down. The wind would grab it. I'll have my dad tell you what happened to him later on, but our friend Raleigh was here. It picked him up in the air. Ralph was here, I forgot to mention that. It picked Ralph up in the air. We were standing on ladders and using other pieces of equipment to get up on the greenhouse. We were just very appreciative of everybody that came to help, because if we were to let this plastic go and blow off and it tore more than it did, that'd have been, I don't know what we would have done. Okay, I'll just say that. That'd have been very catastrophic. So this little connection, this gutter that runs the entire length of the greenhouse, that is where the plastic gets put into place, and it just ripped the whole length. So you saw that little piece of metal wire that I had that follows a guide up in there, and it just ripped it right out. So we had to get all of our new pieces of wiggle wire, put them into place, pull the plastic back down, hold it into place so that we could wire it, and we had to make sure that we did it even the entire length. So once we got to the other end of the greenhouse, we didn't have enough plastic or too much plastic. That would have been bad too. And putting plastic on the greenhouse on a nice day is hard enough as it is. When you have 50 to 60 mile an hour sustained winds and then gusts, it was a headache. It was scary there a little bit, but we were able to get it done. I can't overstate how much we appreciated Joel, Gavin, Raleigh, Tyler, Ralph, everybody else who showed up to help. It was big help, yeah, because this would not have been good if we were not able to get the plastic back on. For now, we don't see any crazy damage. We did have some baskets get lifted off and thrown about. That was just from the wind. Some of these plants here look a little beat up and tattered, but all things considered, it could have been much worse, and it almost was. So anywhere that was ripped up too much down through, they used the greenhouse tape, which is like a very thick, pliable plastic. And then on this end of the greenhouse, right where that white plastic outlet is, that tore really, really bad. So there was a tear about halfway up to this piece of metal. So we had to take greenhouse tape and cover all that up. The fact that the weather is so different today, it kind of just makes it feel a little weird that you almost lost everything in your greenhouse. Or maybe not everything, but we would have lost a decent amount with how nasty those storms were. Here's the guy that can tell you what happened. Let them know what the wind did to you while you're trying to put the plastic back on.
It was like a big parachute. Took me up in the air and then dropped me on the pipes up there on top.
It probably took you about 5 to 6 feet over the top, didn't it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling this morning?
I'm a little sore, but I'm okay.
Yeah, he said he fell right on his ribs on the metal poles. it just helps you to appreciate how strong these wind gusts were that was able to just pull us. And Dad mentioned parachute. The second any wind got under that plastic, because remember, we're holding it, the wind was coming out of the west, northwest, west, that would just make it a parasail. And yeah, our arms are very sore from holding onto the plastic, and for some of us, the bodies are a little sore too when the plastic rips you around. Some of you may be curious if the plastic's ever been ripped off the greenhouse before. It has. It's just very rare. Those buildings are pretty tough, and that greenhouse is the only one that got affected, but it just also happened to be our largest greenhouse. Not sprouted yet, but we're getting close. It is getting close. I can feel it. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is sprouted. I just wanted to open up, see if we're able to see any progress, and this seed has sprouted. So we'll put that back in the soil here. That's good to know. A few days time, everything that we seeded, all those hot peppers and the other stuff there, starting to sprout out of the soil. That'll be good. Hey Daniel, are you feeling sore today?
A little bit, but I have no idea why. Oh wait, I remember. I was flying through the air.
You know, I noticed something.
What? I almost fell down?
That too. All the trays that I had seeded, they have less misses than your trays.
I don't know about that. I don't remember you seeding any.
What are you talking about? I seeded all those front trays, and there are so many more misses in these.
What do you mean misses? I don't see any.
I mean, regardless of if anybody missed spots or not, the first planting of cold crops looks really good.
It doesn't matter if you're perfectly precise putting the seeds in the tray. Your germination rate is not 100% all the time, so you could have one miss because one just didn't germinate.
So you're telling me it might not be Dad's fault why he has some misses?
I won't comment on that.
Thank you, Daniel.
We've moved a lot of stuff down into greenhouse number 6. Plenty of plants for sales. We have some flowers, but mostly vegetables down here, a lot of peppers. We also got a lot of our stuff moved down here with the cold crops. We have some tomatoes for sales at the other end. And then something else we've worked on is getting some hanging baskets of strawberries. And these are about all the strawberry hanging baskets we're gonna have this year. And then at the other end of the greenhouse, we have some packs. So that's something cool. I always like to mention the strawberries because they seem to be a lot of people's favorites. And I'm not gonna lie, occasionally when the baskets are hanging here and I see a strawberry there, sometimes you gotta pick it. I mean, it only encourages the plant to produce more, and it tastes really, really good. Down here, come here, look, come here, come here. Look at this one. Wow, what do you think of that? You want to pick one? No, we can't pick these. These are for sale. Wow, smell them. I got up into the largest greenhouse here. We're getting ready to fill some trays, move some stuff around. But Callie was in here and she wanted to look at flowers. So, you know we got to look at some flowers. What do you see there? Flowers. Come on, there's a lot of flowers over here. Come on, come on. No, look at this one. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Wow. I'm gonna show you something really cool. You see this flower? Yeah. This is what you're named after. Yeah. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. She just learned something. Hey, look at me. Can you smile for mommy? Those tomato hanging baskets are looking pretty good. Got some red cherry here, yellow cherry. They're gonna be ready to sell soon. Look at that, blossoms. Oh, cherry blossoms.
We got it.
Almost made a mess. Uh-oh. We need some trays to seed peppers into, so we grabbed a few of our older 98s that we used last year, and we're gonna have to be careful to peel off the old tags because This is Italian sweet. I don't know if that's what we're seeding today, but it's just something we gotta keep a close watch on. The only thing I will mention about these old trays, sometimes they get pushed down together and they are a pain to take apart. It's a lot easier to use new trays. However, we don't want to waste these older ones. They're still good. They still hold soil, seedlings, water. So I mean, might as well reuse them. We were planning on getting those 98 cell trays filled up, but we've been kind of distracted. Matthew is working on watering the entire greenhouse. I also had to fill up some larger pots for Rhonda, and Daniel has been carrying everything that the girls have transplanted down over the hill. So everybody's been running in different directions. And I don't think we're gonna be able to get these 98 cell trays filled this morning, so might have to worry about that another time. But for now, we're just trying to take care of these ladies. Well, I thought we weren't gonna be able to get to these trays. Dad came up from down around back. He was also working on watering. So now we've got the extra help, we can quickly run through these trays. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, Daniel, what are you doing?
Four jalapeno yet, and then we're gonna plant 8 poblanos and 8 poblano.
Okay. You just left the door open. Now where's all the heat going? Come on.
Just needed a little fresh air.
Oh, okay. You will notice that we're putting a very thin layer of soil on top of these. That's so our seeds don't have to push through lots of material. Makes it a lot easier on the plant to germinate. Dad wanted to get finished before it was lunchtime, but we just got the call that it is now lunch. So we're gonna head down and eat. In that brief moment of time, 20 to 30 minutes, we got over 1,200 seeds put into trays. And for perspective, that's 1,200 plants that we're gonna be harvesting off of once the time comes. It's crazy how time flies. Where are you going so fast? Lunchtime on the farm, and it looks like we're having tuna fish and egg salad sandwiches. We just got all finished with lunch, so we're gonna run up and finish seeding the rest of those peppers. And after that, I'm not too sure. We might just move into the bigger greenhouse again. I love working in the greenhouses on these cooler days. It feels like the temperature is getting cooler out as the day goes on too, so that just makes working in here all the more fun. Occasionally you will have some doubles and triples with the peppers. It's just the way the seeds work out. 2 of them will get stuck in there. That's okay, because any section where there's one missing, we don't really have to worry about it, because once these plants start to get a little larger, we're gonna have to move them from cell to cell. We don't like doing that, but we recognize that if we sat here all day and went cell by cell, adjusting everything on the tray, it would take a lot of time. So we'll just get to it later on. Dad showed up right when I was about halfway finished with the peppers. Now we are all done, and we're trying to find plenty of room on the heated table to make sure that everything can be covered at night, and that'll do it. Got all our trays moved over 2,000 seedlings or seeds put into the soil. Now that's gonna be a lot of plants. Not only a lot of plants, but a lot of peppers that we will be picking and selling later on. This is fun. Now that we're all finished with seeding, we have a few different jobs that we can do today. We need to make our way down in the greenhouse, help out a little bit. We're probably gonna be doing a little of that. We also have to haul a cow today. So we gotta haul 1 steer, and we also have to deliver some seed to my uncle. So I'm sure I'll be mixed in there somewhere with one of those jobs. I'll just have to wait and see. Well, that was close. I just got finished with making dinner. Here you go, Kelly. Here's your dinner, sweetheart. Do I have to set it down over here? Yeah. Oh, okay. So we ended up getting everything taken care of at the farm, and then we got finished with work. So I came home and I got started on dinner. For dinner tonight, I made Lauren steak, broccoli, and potatoes. She's really excited about it. I thought it looked so good. These are our potatoes. We got our beef right there. Too bad it's not summer or we could have our broccoli, but it is what it is. We're getting ready to sit down here and eat dinner. So it's probably where we're gonna end the video today. If you have not already, don't forget to like the video. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate y'all being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.